Ethereal Beauty. The word ethereal brings a vision of something diaphanous, ultrafine, or sheer. It also evokes the notion of something beautiful and graceful. A synonym for ethereal beauty is empyrean. In ancient cosmology, the empyrean was the highest part of the heavens. This realm was made of fire and the home of the goddess and angels. The word comes from the Greek word empyros, which means fire. The archaic definition states, this is the highest part of the spherical heavens supposed by the ancient and medieval cosmology to contain the pure element of fire. Also it meant the visible heavens, the firmament. The symbol, sign of empyrean is the left eye. Perhaps the most artistically and textually advanced passage in Dante's Commedia or Divine Comedy is the description of the empyrean, a place which doesn't exist beyond space and time. The Dante Encyclopedia defines it as follows: the 10th and highest heaven, encompassing all creation, fiery like the other 9 heavens or moving celestials. Using the prefix en, which means in, within, or inside, and compire, Greek word for fire, one may clearly glean empyrean is expressing the great inner light, the inner fire, the Christ consciousness. The empyrean was used as a name for the incorporeal heaven of the first day, soul, and in Christian literature, used for the dwelling place of deity, the abode, Christ consciousness. The blessed, the individual consciousness, celestial being so sublime and of pure light, the source of materialism. Inspired by Aristotle, the empyrean heaven, empyreal, or simply empyrean, was supposed to be occupied by the element of ether. In Christianity, this is where souls were saved and resided. Soul is the only presence. So here again, it is expressing Christ consciousness, the abode of soul. Souls, the early church took inspiration from Aristotle's cosmology and the reckoning of heaven. So this is the fallacy of the world ego and proves its knowledge of it as non-reality. The word ethereal in a word means of or relating to the heavens. heavenly, being light and airy and delicate. This signifies the purified senses in service to the Christ consciousness. The ethereal beauty denotes the Christ consciousness, the abode of soul, the omnipresence. And the word ether, which means air, not the illusion AIR, but the air, HEIR, one who is entitled to truth, the individual consciousness, more specifically, the state at rest within the individual personality. And this state of bliss gives the personality the feeling of being light and airy due to there being no burdens, no cares, or concerns. This state of ethereal beauty within the individual consciousness, expressed through the personality, refinement, and delicacy, as the personality is only an aspect and is not real essence of intangibility, but is insubstantiality, being non-existent. Personality's first impression of etiquette and energy are all the intangibles that truly belong to ultimate reality, individual consciousness. Insubstantiality means the personality lacks substance, strength, or reality. It is only the mask worn or represented as the individual consciousness. In Buddhism, the idea of insubstantiality is reflected in the doctrines of anatta, no self, individual consciousness, a reflection, and anicca, impermanence, the personality. These doctrines treat that the world ego is a collection of changing characteristics powered by the subconscious before the transposing. Anatta, the individual consciousness, is the idea that there is no possibility of soul in the world ego. Anatta is the individual consciousness, the reflective aspect of Christ consciousness, the abode of soul, the omnipresence. The individual consciousness is the tap, the device, which the Christ consciousness utilizes as its operator for experience. Anicca represents the personality and the realm of the impermanent and always changing. Nothing is what the personality is or experiences, including thinking, emotions, and sensations. This is the purified nature state of the outer. The purpose of the personality is to express this truth nature and surrender to the greater truth within. This concept expands and emphasizes the transcendent nature of the real ego. The Buddha describes the mental, physical ego self as anicca, the ever-changing, conditioned ego personality. The ethereal beauty is reflected by the individual consciousness, so thin, so as to transmit light. This is the translucent nebula and has been likened to the aura, but there is no connection between the two because aura represents an ambiance or atmosphere, thus the mental or state of mind. Whereas the emanation of ethereal beauty, Christ consciousness, is a high degree of quality, understanding the individual consciousness quantifies as outer understanding by the personality. This supreme state is the rarefied unworldliness that is resplendent and extremely beautiful. Pulchritudinous is exclaimed of soul, the only presence regarding this indescribable beauty. The Christ consciousness is the ineffable beauty, too great, too powerful to be described or expressed. The allure of the Christ consciousness attracts and fascinates the individual consciousness. The unspeakable splendor, which to the personality is awe-inspiring, staggering, and extraordinary. So the only presence is the enigmatic beauty that is mysterious and difficult to enter, under, over, outer stand. This glowing radiance leaves one speechless, thus silent. So is the state of peerless purity that cannot be understood, because she is a mystical state that must be experienced. That is why the Christ consciousness uses the serendipity of the individual consciousness to bring a sense of this beauty and joy into expression by a personality. So is the rarest beauty, because she is not accessible to the senses. The Greek word kalos symbolizes her virtues as sublime, who possesses beauty to the absolute degree. Myths equate the physical form with beauty. There is no such comparison. Beauty only belongs to the supreme and ultimate reality, and the only reality is truth. Soul, the only presence. Individual consciousness, the natural beauty. The real ego thinks there is beauty in the physical and mental realms, which are only mist. Isaiah chapter 40 verse 8. It has no substance. That everything in the real ego, all humanity, is withering and fading away.